Hey guys, it's Treat here, and before I say anything, I just want to say that this video is actually sponsored by Dev Sisters, so huge thanks to Dev Sisters for sponsoring the video, and let's get right into it. So before I get into the build, I want to tell you that Dark Enchantress cookie is going to be one of the best cookies to ever release inside of this game. Just hands down. I'm telling you right now, Dark Enchantress might honestly be meta longer than Shadow Milk. That literally might be the case. I'm telling you right now. It's just crazy how good Dark Enchantress is, and I hope all of you are able to pull her, because if you don't, you might be in a bad spot in Arena. So let's get right into the build. Here we have Dark Enchantress cookie. She's finally here inside the game, and she's got a lengthy skill, so let's go over it. So the skill is called Visions of Doom. It's a 16-second cooldown, so here it goes. A bottomless abyss unfolds on the battlefield, immobilizing all enemies within its range, so that's basically like a stun. The abyss increases their cooldown, so cooldown up like Mystic Flower, and drains their HP, converting it to HP shield that cannot be what? Abyss will change the spell enemy HP shield. Okay, so goodbye ES with your 80% HP shield, and makes enemies unable to gain new HP shield, so basically like a permanent HP shield blocker. All other targets become stunned. Jeez. After the abyss has consumed enough magic energy, it deals damage to all enemies, applying injury. With its last powerful hit, the abyss will turn some enemies into failed creations. Okay, that's key. Just remember that. Each hit of the abyss applies Dark Enchantress's curse. So this next section is about the failed creation. So a legendary ancient dragon beast or super epic, so all higher rarities, with the highest attack, so that's something we have to pay attention to now, becomes a failed creation. This effect cannot be prevented by skills that can make the target resistant or immune to incapacitating effects, or dispelled, and cannot affect by the debuff resist stat. That's overpowered. All epic or lower rarity cookies become failed creations, and other targets become stunned. Epics probably aren't going to be used in the arena for the time being. Failed creations share a part of damage taken by Dark Enchantress cookie. When they are defeated, Dark Enchantress cookie is healed. So self-healing from Dark Enchantress. Dark Enchantress cookie will consume magic energy to become stronger when she uses her skill and whenever an ally or enemy is defeated. Her damage dampening an attack will increase proportionally to the amount of magic energy consumed. Upon reaching a certain number of stacks, she'll gain the magic overflow status. So you'll see what that means. I know what it is. I'll show you. It's a visual thing. In this state, she can revive once, and her regular attacks as well as her skill will deal more damage. Darkness Unleashed, triggering at certain intervals and dealing damage, will also become enhanced in this state. Dark Enchantress cookie's cooldown will increase in proportion to her attack boosted with toppings. You can already see. Then the attack will also be increased in production to her cooldown. So yeah, at the beginning of the battle, Dark Enchantress cookie will briefly become immune to debuffs. So that's crazy good. Before I go into reading more of the skill, I just want to say that this setting guide, it could be partially right, but it's taking straight from Arena. And this is not the most optimal stat right here. You're going to want to fine tune the mix of toppings between rasps and cooldown, and I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's continue on with the skill. So Forbidden Abyss does 9 hits over 3.6 seconds. So that's 1 hit every 0.4 seconds. I think I did my math right. Single hit damage is 151.5% of attack, plus damage equal to 14.3% of max HP, ignores 40% of damage resist. Forbidden Abyss damage for the others, this is PvE, so that's 257% of attack and ignores damage resist as well. Immobilization comes for 3 seconds. Cooldown cookies plus 30%. HP shields blocked are for 10 seconds, and stun is for 3 seconds. Abyss shield converts to 30% of target's max HP into own shield for 10 seconds per enemy in range. 75% of max HP per shield. That's really, really good. Abyss Unleashed damage is 14 hits over 3.5 seconds. Single hit damage is 208.3% of attack, plus damage equal to 18.6% of max HP. Also ignores 40% of damage resist. Abyss Unleashed damaged on the others is going to be 385% of attack, ignores 40% damage resist as well. Injury, max HP minus 7.5 for 20 seconds, stacks up to 2, capped at 25%, even though it's not capped. Even though it only goes to 15%. Failed creation, 5 seconds, not affected by debuff resist, so it's guaranteed to be 5 seconds. So shared pain, so that's Dark Enchantress shared damage. So 30% of damage that Dark Enchantress received is going to go back to the failed creation. Failed creation healing heals Dark Enchantress cookie for 20% of her max HP, and stun others is 3 seconds. Magic Siphon, attack plus 13.5, stacks up to 3. That's crazy. That's just basically just like a 50% of attack buff, or not even 50, 40. Magic Overflow and Fixed Fear, so that's the debuff from the boss in 1430, on nearby enemies for 2 seconds and deals damage equal to 535% of attack. Magic Overflow, regular attack, and Visions of Doom, damage times 1.18. Oh, now we're getting to damage multipliers. Cooldown minus 20, revives once per battle with 100% HP, so basically just a level 12 feather. Darkness Unleashed, activation every 10 seconds. Darkness Unleashed releases 773% of attack onto damage with the nearest enemy. Enhanced Darkness Unleashed, up to 4 hits to the enemy with lowest max HP, so this is really good. Single hit damage damage, 966% of attack plus damage equal to 28% of Cookie's max HP. Wow. That's all I have to say is, wow, this Cookie's good. And here's the passive, Cookie of Darkness. Passive is the debuff resist plus 35%, damage resist plus 35%, attack plus 20%, max HP plus 35%, damage dampening plus 28.5. Dark Enchantress Cookie's Curse is damage dealt minus 37.5% for 15 seconds, stacks up to 1 time. Jeez, that's really good. Tendrils of Chaos, Chaos type damage plus 7% defense minus 10% when hit by skill. Okay, so that's just crazy, just a defense down and a chaos damage up. So obviously Dark Enchantress is a chaos type. Master of Sorcery is cooldown minus 1% per 3% of attack from toppings, attack plus 3% per 1% of cooldown from toppings. As you can already see, we can kind of mix and match that kind of stuff, right? Immunity for 5 seconds, so that means she's immune to the first fall of the chest. All right, she's crazy good. That's all I have to say. So now let's get right into the build. So for the Beascuit, if I would have to recommend something, and also for her toppings, I would have to recommend getting her on an Anniversary Beascuit. So as you can see here, here's the 5th Anniversary Festival, which is also part of the 5th Anniversary update. And here, the Beascuit Smithy, right here. I'm going to show you what I got. See how I have 0 coins because I'm investing all of my stuff into the Beascuits. So I'm just going to show you what I got for my Silent Salt. That is a 59.5% damage bypass. And how you're going to want to roll these, and I'm going to show you how. So how you're going to want to roll your 5th Anniversary Beascuits is you're going to want to reset all. Obviously, I can't. Let's say I wanted to get attack speed. There, I have the attack speed line right there. But in obviously Dark Enchantress's case, if you want to use her for Arena, you're looking for damage resist. I would say auto reset until you hit damage resist bypass, pause upon getting any, or actually no, you shouldn't do that. Do top 10% and not set. Then you click auto reset. Obviously, I can't. Wait for a 15 line. Keep resetting, and then once you get there, that's where you go into auto reset, damage resist bypass, and see how far you can get with that. That's how my friend UB got a full 15% damage resist bypass for Dark Enchantress, and that's how I'm going to recommend you guys do it when you're rolling for your 5th Anniversary Beascuits. And obviously, if you have another magic bypass Beascuit, that would be obviously better to use if you want to use your 5th Anniversaries for Guild Battle, which I do also recommend. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into the build for Dark Enchantress. And as you can see, Moldo, we're just going to run Moldo with no toppings, but Dark Enchantress, she's here, and, well, you guessed it, she's running a mix of attack and cooldown, right? And also damage resist bypass. But that's my 4th Anniversary Beascuit. Well, wrong anniversary, but still a great Beascuit. So as you can see here, we're going to switch off the Beascuit so the attack isn't inflated from the Beascuit, if you know what I mean. See, it gives 30% here. So we're going to switch off for now, and I'm going to show you the math that you're going to need to do to understand how much stuff she's going to need, right? See how I have 59.2% attack. I'm going to take that number, I'm going to find the closest multiple of 3, which would be 57. I'm going to divide 57 by 3, 57 divided by 3, which is 19. Then I'm going to add up the cooldown with it. So that's plus 16.5. If it's above 35 cooldown, you're good. You're also going to be getting the attacks buff from the cooldown as well. So 16 times 3, that's 48 attack on top of that as well. So this is just the formula that I like to use the best. I like to use the 57 attack and 16 cooldown because that just automatically gives you the 35 cooldown plus a lot of extra attack as well. Obviously, you're gaining more from the tart and you're gaining more from the toppings as well. Plus, see how I used multiple resonant toppings for Dark Enchantress. This is going to be the final arena build. Obviously, it is subject to change. I will update you guys further if it does. Remember, aim for 57 attack, which might be a little hard. If you can, you might want to also swap out your tart for a, let's say, cooldown tart, like the thing that it's recommending. You could do that, but make sure that you find for your attack the closest multiple of 3, divide it by 3, and then add it to your cooldown to make sure you're getting the 35 cooldown. That is a very, very, very important thing that you need to understand. For now, for World Exploration, I think she's probably going to be using the not cooldown. I think a chaos damage Beascuit. Do I even have one? I do, and we're just gonna throw it on her. I'm not gonna re-roll it or anything. Let's just throw on a chaos damage Beascuit. 14%, not really doing much, but for Moldo, we're just not gonna run anything on him because you really aren't going to want to use Moldo, mainly for Beast East episode 13, which I just did clear, and the story is great, I will have to say. Moldo is looking like a really good World Exploration cookie, so let's go right in. Let's fight Smoked Cheese Cookie with Dark Enchantress and Moldo. All right, so here we have, let's take a little pause right now. So as you can see, Dark Enchantress does have the immune to interrupting effects because we are freshly 5 seconds into the battle. She has the attack, she has the HP, her buff, or attack, her damage resist, or debuff resist, and her damage dampening. As you can see, damage dampening is right there. So now let's see how good her auto attacks are. Oh, there goes Moldo because he got hit.
This is your end.
Wow. That's OP. Yeah, there goes Moldo. All right, now Dark Enchantress, Let's see what she does against smoked cheese. Lots and lots of damage. Old Doe's probably going to die here. Oh no, he has immortality. I forgot about that. And there, see, there's the magic, right? See, magic siphon and magic overflow. Forgot to use this. Wow. Now that's an overpowered cookie, I'll have to say. 94. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. You guys get it already, right? Dark Enchantress is overpowered. And so is the Crimson Magic Whistle, which is going to be primarily used in guild battle. The only reason why I'm not going to say it's going to be used in arena is because of the elemental curse that is making cookies take 40% of damage here. I'll show you. I'll go right back into the battle, and I'll also show you what the Darkness Vessel does. The Darkness Vessel is basically just a glorified jewelry box, I'll have to say. Oh, wait, I want to put in the Darkness Vessel, not the jewelry box. So what it does, it decreases damage resistance. And if they don't have any shields, which works with Dark Enchantress, it's basically in total, if they don't have HP shields on the other team, they are losing 40% damage resist and 20% of attack for 15 seconds, plus minus 20% defense. It is a crazy good treasure. So let's just see. Let's go right back in, and I'll show you. There's the vessel. See, there's the attack down. Not attack down, damage down. And also, again, see, there's the all types damage up that is from the whistle, right? That's the main reason why it is not going to be used in the arena, because you're basically giving yourself a 40% damage weakness. And also it's giving you healing down, so I think they kind of engineered it like that to make sure that it's not going to be used in the arena. But look at Dark Enchantress's skill. It is beautiful. Full screen effects. And wow. And her third, once she gets 3 stacks, I think that transforms, right? Yep. The amount of damage that in Smoked Cheese used to be a hard boss back in the day. Now he's just getting destroyed by Dark Enchantress. The amount of damage, just the pure damage that Dark Enchantress does, makes her absolutely insane. Let me just speed this up real quick. There we go. Final verdict on Dark Enchantress. She's crazy good. Hands down, crazy, crazy, crazy good. Absolutely insane. And honestly, I really don't have much else to say about Dark Enchantress other than get her, level her up, build her right, and the arena video will shortly be following this one. And again, I want to say thank you to Dev Sisters for sponsoring this video and this whole 5th anniversary update. It's great. Awesome. The castle's sick. The story's awesome. I do recommend you check out Beascuits episode 13. Clear up to there. The Star Spire Resonance is also a great source for toppings as well. The new resident toppings. Guardian of the Rift is back, one of my favorite events. And also Cake Hound Roundup is back. So without further ado, I'm going to say this update is absolutely awesome, as well as Dominion of the Beasts. Make sure to pick and choose. This update's absolutely awesome. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the arena video. So let me just grab this bell real quick. A gnome bell. All right, this is where I end it. Bye, guys.